Good evening, and welcome back to the dungeon. I'm glad you could make it out tonight, because we are playing another horror game. This one's called Infliction. And from what I can tell, it has a lot of heavy atmosphere, and almost every item in the game is interactable. It also states the video settings can be changed once the game starts via the option menu. So let's start the demo. This world is the place between places, where there can be only sadness and resolution. This is where the lost find themselves, and vengeance rears its ugly head. Vengeful souls are born of violent death. Necronomicon, Abaddon, Volume 3.
I'm stuck at the gate and they won't let me
It's
through.
not just the two of us anymore.
See you soon.
Blood. It's probably not mine. New objective. Find a way to vanquish the spirit. Woke up on the floor. Kinda like me after a playthrough of American Truck Simulator, the drinking and driving edition. Actually, things are kinda blurry. Let's fix the resolution and video quality. There, that should be better. Hell House. They go in, they don't come out. A demon living in the basement of this house cannot leave until he receives 5 very specific blood sacrifices: the warrior, the whore, the wise, the inebriated, and the golden girl. Once he lures these victims to the house, it will take everything they have to escape. Rated R. Can we watch it? I'll take that as a no. Moon. We are not alone. They've been hiding in plain sight for the entirety of human existence. They were discovered on the dark side of the moon, forcing their hostile plans into action before they intended. They're after our planet, and they want every last human dead. This sci-fi thriller is sure to keep sci-fi fans happy with this thrilling action flick. Big Jim's Appliances. Looks like Big Bad Jim from Back 4 Blood got a new job after the demon worm apocalypse. And you know what? Good for him. Rods of Power. Sounds like a power metal band. Strut Deodorant. Too much of a glare to read. Life is a Storm.
1st of June, 1990. I asked him today what he does down there. He just stared at me silently with pure hatred. I don't understand how this happened. I don't know him anymore, and sometimes he scares me. He spends all of his time in that basement. Next time he does a beer run, I'm gonna sneak down there and look for myself. I trust Gary, but the man I'm living with isn't Gary anymore. I have to keep Maggie safe, if nothing else.
Well, it's cool that he's down in the basement watching YouTube videos with the Dungeon Master, but you should include your wife. The more the merrier. We'll head out in a minute. What's this? The prevention and relief of bronchospasm associated with asthma and other respiratory conditions. Yeah, that generally happens to a bull rider before a rodeo. A Mind Within a Mind is a psychological thriller you will not want to put down. It delves into the mind and observes a behavior we'd most like to ignore and forget. Author Annalita Mentors has been capturing the imagination of us all for the last 20 years. A Mind Within a Mind has been dubbed her masterwork by her fans and has topped the best-selling charts for months. There was a scratching on the glass. She could only see her own warped and twisted face in the reflection. As she crept closer, ever fearful of what she may find, the culprit revealed itself. It was a tree blowing in the wind. With a sigh of relief, she sat back down, feeling rather silly for being frightened by such a simple thing. It led her to thinking about the psychology of the mind. Why is it when we're alone, the slightest noise sends us into a heart-pounding frenzy with thoughts of serial killers and ghosts stalking us? The more she thought on this, the more it began to affect her. She needed something to take her mind away from this line of thought. She leant down and picked up the TV remote. Right then, something brushed against her back. She sprung up off the chair, more panicked than she had ever been before, and couldn't see anything. There was a smell in the air, though. She couldn't quite place the smell, but it reminded her of her grandparents' basement. She really couldn't remember the basement itself, though, or ever being in it. Odd. How can you be reminded of something yet have no memory of experiencing it? She began to walk around the house again. The smell had a point of origin. She was following her nose. She tried to bring the dog with her, but he just whimpered in the corner. Not even a treat would get him to follow her. She followed the smell to the back door and walked outside. Once outside, the smell had totally vanished. Moving back into the house again, the smell was back, and it was much stronger. The smell before was somewhat innocuous but now it was pungent and offensive. Still, unable to identify the odor, except for a memory she can't remember, she wondered, if the smell reminds me of Grandma's basement, maybe I should check out my basement. She was terrified at this point. She's never been in the basement. For some reason, she's deathly afraid of basements. She gathered up a few things to make the trek down, all the while procrastinating and hoping the odor would just vanish before she got there. Flashlight, check. Knife, check. Baseball bat, check. She was ready. As she headed towards the basement, she began to identify the odor. Rotten eggs. It was getting stronger the more afraid she got. The door to the basement was under the stairs leading to the second floor of the house. Inching closer to the door, she starts hearing scratching again. She immediately rationalizes the sounds as the trees scratching on the windows she had heard earlier and continues down the dark hallway towards the door. She reaches out for the shiny brass doorknob. It's so shiny that she can see her own reflection in it. Right then, she saw something in the reflection, a shadow, moving behind her. She is frozen stiff, staring at the shadow that had stopped moving as quickly as it had started. The entire house is now dead silent. Nothing is moving. The only thing that is still active is that god-awful odor. She decides to quickly turn the knob and open the door. As she rushes in, the doorknob slams behind her. Startled, she falls down the basement stairs, hitting her head on the way down. She's got no idea how much time has passed when she comes to. Her flashlight is on the floor, shining into a corner of the basement. She can hear movement, and my God, the smell! Afraid to move, she slowly reaches for the flashlight. While she's reaching out, she has the realization that the smell might not be rotten eggs. She has smelt this before, in science class. It's sulfur. Chapter 2, The Grim. And that's it. Well, I guess the book that we can't put down, we're gonna have to put down. The light not working? In a horror game? Seems about right. Do my eyes deceive me? Is that Lord Palpatine?
You will die.
Come to the dark side. Just do it. We have Girl Scout cookies, Thin Mints, and tag-alongs.
Now that's pretty cool. But that painting's even better. Dear, it appears your wedding photo is overexposed. Paracetamol plus codeine. It's a painkiller. And it appears that you have quite a bit. Press to open. Abby, Allie, Andrew, Al? Yeah, you can interact with just about everything. Lighter. Ashtray. You can even pick up this pen. Now that's some serious attention to detail. Grief and loss. What are grief and loss? Grief is a natural response to loss. It might be the loss of a loved one, relationship, miscarriage, pet, job, or way of life. Other experiences of loss may be due to children leaving home, infertility, and separation from friends and family. The more significant the loss, the more intense the grief is likely to be. Grief is expressed in many ways, and it can affect every part of your life, your emotions, thoughts and behaviors, beliefs, physical health, your sense of self and identity, and your relationships with others. Grief can leave you feeling sad, angry, anxious, shocked, regretful, relieved, overwhelmed, isolated, irritable, or numb. Many of these reactions are not constant, but instead can come in waves, often triggered by memories or occasions. The first few days after a loss are particularly intense emotionally, and many people say that they function on auto for a while just to get through. Grief can affect your thinking, leaving you unable to concentrate or make decisions, forgetful, and sometimes causing you to worry that you will never feel better. It can also cause difficulty in your sleeping and physical health, leading to headaches, nausea, aches and pains. It is not unusual to also question your faith or beliefs at this time, as you search for answers and meaning following the loss. The way you are feeling and thinking affects how you interact with the world around you, your friends, family, and workplace. For some, being with others is comforting, while others prefer more solitude as they come to terms with their loss. Grief has no set pattern. Everyone experiences grief differently, and there are cultural and circumstantial factors that affect how people express and cope with it. Some people may grieve for weeks and months, while others may describe their grief lasting for years. Through the process of grief, however, you begin to create new experiences and habits that work around your loss. You slowly begin to experience a greater sense of hope, focusing more on the future rather than the loss itself. In time, memories begin to become something to enjoy rather than trigger sadness. Finding help at the Mental Health Institute. We run both one-on-one and group grief support sessions. Call us on 555-9064 to book your free session today. Wow, that's pretty good. Red Devils matches. Video game Sea Attack. I want to play. Ah, too bad. It looks like one of those Tiger Toy electronics. Thank God for you, Hilltop. Praise him. So we got some CDs here. There's another Rods of Power. High chair for toddlers. Looks like we can only shift the box, but we can't pull it out. To-do list: butter, dog food, bread, milk, toothpaste, aspirin. Call Mike about how to change the code. I see there's no eggs on here, probably because nobody can afford them. Zupacell batteries. No, stop closing. Oh, that's a nice picture. Sarah, Halloween, 1985. A bell. Is that from Jacksepticeye's meme time? All-Seeing Eye Security. Dear Gary Ryan Pout, we're delighted to extend this offer of employment for the position of security guard with All-Seeing Eye Security. Please review this summary of terms and conditions for your anticipated employment with us. Copy for your information. If you accept this offer, your start date will be August 15th, 1981, or another mutually agreed upon date, and you would report to Cheyenne McFarlane. Please find below the terms and conditions of your employment, should you accept this offer letter. Your title will be Junior Security Officer, and you will report to the Regional Security Manager. This is a full-time position. While you are employed at this company, you will not engage in any other employment, consulting, or other business activity, whether full-time or part-time. That would create a conflict of interest with us. By signing this letter of agreement, you confirm that you have no contractual commitments or other legal obligations that would prohibit you from performing your duties for All-Seeing Eye Security. The company will pay you a starting salary at the rate of $6,271.20 per year, payable in accordance with our standard payroll schedule. Wow, that's not that much. But I guess with inflation and this being 1981, maybe it's not that bad. This salary will be subject to adjustment pursuant to our employee compensation policies in effect from time to time. The company reserves the right to terminate employment of any employee for just cause at any time without notice and without payment in lieu of notice. The company will be entitled to terminate your employment for any reason other than for just cause, upon providing to you such minimum notice as required by law. And he already signed it. Well, I guess beggars can't be choosers, right? Tall Pines Gallery. Dear Sarah, thank you for writing to us in regards to featuring your artwork at the Tall Pines Gallery for the upcoming summer exhibit. Your enclosed sample artwork got many of us excited. You truly are a gifted artist. Unfortunately, all slots for this particular exhibit have already been filled. We do, however, encourage you to apply for the spring exhibit. Applications open on the 1st of February. Although we can see how talented you are, we receive many applications for every exhibit and cannot guarantee you a spot, so we urge you to apply again. Thank you for sharing your work with us, and we hope you'll come along to the exhibit and meet some other local artists. Regards, Miss Jordan Davidson, owner and curator. What a witch. Trick or Treat, Halloween Party, Pleasant Falls Community Center, Spooky Fancy Dress, Bring Your Own Drinks. The annual Halloween party is funded by the neighborhood community. Thank you for your support. And someone stepped on it. You know, when they mentioned support, they weren't talking about Dr. Scholl's. Now that's odd. It's 4:45 in the morning. That's already an hour and 45 minutes after the witching hour. This ghost must be running on Filipino time. Now what do we have here? My friend told me the key is through the wall. I questioned this logic until I gained his memories. Honey, did you forget to pay the electric bill? Sarah, sweetie, I fell asleep on the floor again, and my shirt's all wrinkled. Do you think you could help iron it? I guess I'll take that as a no. Falls Police Department. Oh, their faces are all messed up. Wow, it was like I was walking through a vortex of some kind.
She's here.
Yes, I know, but you're a little late. I just saw her. All the writing is gone. How strange. Carb Shine, heavy-duty carburetor cleaner. Tire Shine, and look at how they spelled tire, like tear. XE51, basically WD-40. Yeah, you can literally click on everything. Turtle Car Wash Liquid. A box labeled Maggie's Toys. Yeah, you basically can just slide these boxes back and forth, but you can't pull them out or really do anything with them. It's too bad, too. I was hoping one of them contained a dictionary that I could read. Well, if it isn't Rat Be Gone, the #1 kitchen spice to give your food a nice almond flavor, which comes from the main ingredient, hydrogen cyanide. Yummy! Now, why do you keep empty beer cans in the refrigerator? Ox Beer. This looks a lot like Foster's, which is imported from Australia. Whiskey in a can and not in the jarro? Only time I've seen them do that is with, like, Jack and Coke. You know, basically a mixed drink of some sort. Or a cocktail. Ooh, now this looks promising. Damn, it's locked. Well, there seems to be nothing else around here. Mirror, mirror on the wall, why did Rachel Ziegler have to ruin Snow White for us all? Oh, well, the mirror pulled me inside. Empty cans, even in the mirror dimension. Also, everything is reversed and the basement door is open. How cool is that? However, the light still doesn't work. Keep out. Always a suggestion I choose to ignore. Paint thinner. Color Pro. And color has a U in it, as in the British spelling. Still can only shift boxes. Now, we're gonna have to figure out how to get back there. Okay, so it looked like a secret wall, but it's actually just a cable. Alright, there we go. Gonna need to get you out of the way too. Ooh, fire axe. Is that offals? It always kind of sounds like the footsteps are behind you. Rule number 1 of a hole in the wall. Always peek inside. Well, somebody's performing a ritual here. Wow. Doesn't that look like Joey Jordison's mask, who used to be the drummer for Slipknot? Somebody needs their asthma inhaler. You know, it's right upstairs. Dark power and energy is transferred through you into an object or focused on a task. The spells contained within this book are a link for you to learn the intricacies of wielding such power. Spell books are for training and knowledge only. Once you're fully accomplished in the dark arts, you will no longer need spells and rituals, for they're a means to visualize and focus the energy in a direction. That does not mean this book should be taken lightly. The contents of this book are dangerous and should always be treated with respect. There are 3 bones situated behind the skull. Those represent the 3 houses of hell, just like on Mortuary Assistant. And on the left page, you can see what is known as the Tree of Life. Colloquium, which is an academic conference or seminar. To commune with the dead, one must open their mind and perception to the ghostly fields of the ethereal. The world of the specters and the world of flesh are only separated by a very thin veil, held up by faith in a false idol. Once you give yourself over, you will stride both worlds. This alone is not enough to speak with the specter. You'll simply be open to it. The rite of scripture will need to be performed before you can summon the specter to you. Performing such rituals is forbidden in most cultures. One day on Earth is equal to an eternity of... Well, it would appear that the next page is missing.
I'm sorry, teacher. The demon ate my homework.
Ritual of Sacrifice. This ritual is often used in conjunction with other rituals to complete a rite. First, you will need to find a living creature. Any creature will do, but the larger the creature, the more effective the ritual. Got it. So we gotta find a rhinoceros, hippopotamo. I meant hippopotamus. Or an elephant. Based on those guidelines, if we sacrifice Rosie O'Donnell, we could talk to Lucifer himself. Face south and chant, Atheria mi dedero, tol animan min. So for those of you unfamiliar with the Latin language, it actually means I will give myself to the ethereal world. Take my soul. Repeat these words for the remainder of the ritual. Drain the life from the creature until it has crossed over into a receptacle. Drink every last drop. This concludes the ritual of sacrifice. Rite of Scripture. The ability to commune with the dead is unnatural unless natural. This ritual will require an individual to display their loyalty and understanding to the ethereal, for the ritual is a trial and will leave the individual with nothing. A soul must be stripped before it can be reshaped. This ritual involves several other rituals and is considered to be advanced. First, perform the ritual of sacrifice on every blood moon. You will do this until contact is made. Contact will often not be the one you wish to speak with at first. Post-contact. Earthly belongings will tether beings of the dead to you. You'll need some objects that were dear to the Spectre. Inscribe the ruin of, and there's a portion of the page missing. Okay, so what I've gathered so far is that Sarah's husband, Gary, was attempting these rituals with missing or incomplete information, thus performing them incorrectly and causing a whole slew of issues for the family. I guess he's not very intellectual. He's just kinda stupid. Ritual of Devotion. This ritual proves loyalty to the dark powers and spits on the righteous. This ritual will require desecration of false idols and is often used in conjunction with other rituals to complete a rite. In performing this ritual, you bring yourself closer to the beautiful dark. Smelt 6 relics that represent the false idol. The relics should be comprised of precious metals. Once complete, smith the metal into an inversed symbol of the false idol. So they're basically talking about melting some crosses and then inverting them. Perform the ritual of sacrifice and imbue the object with dark energy. Repeat these steps many times. You now have a cursed object, a link between the darkness and the mortal plane. So, back in the Dark Ages and the Middle Ages, if you were walking along a path and you saw an inverted cross, it was a warning to the passerby that there was danger ahead. And now onto Rite of Passage. Objective complete. Find a way to vanquish the spirit. New objective, get out of the basement. Yeah, that can wait. Right now I'm reading a whole dissertation on rituals from this grimoire. Angry spirits are born from violent death. These souls are bound to the world of flesh until they're ready to let go. There is one ritual that can be performed by the one the spirit is bound to. The ritual can be performed in the world of specters or flesh, but must be performed by the one directly responsible to the demise of the angry spirit. This ritual will show their spirit the passage to where they truly belong, offering some form of peace. To complete this ritual, you'll need to gather the following objects belonging to the angry spirit. Body of the deceased, any part of the remains. Image of the deceased, clothing worn in the eyes of God, an object of ancestral sentimentality. Once collected, cleanse the objects with fire and spread the ash over the site where they were slain. Oh, sweetie, you finally came down to the basement. I'm so glad you're here. Come over here so I can give you a hug. You know, after all these years of marriage, I had no idea you were a chiropractor. Man, that kink in my neck is so much better now. An artist and a chiropractor. Talk about a woman to die for. literally. "3:41, and yet it was 4:45 earlier. Time appears to be moving in reverse."
If you're hearing this, I am dead. It wasn't always like this. I had everything. Bright future, love, happiness, a family. Then the darkness seeped in like a cold damp from below. I have seen the face of evil, and if there is one thing I've learned, the world you know is only the beginning. Karma's a bitch. And so I promise you this. You will understand your sins and you will reap what you've sowed.
Infliction, coming Halloween of 2018 by Caustic Reality. Thanks for playing the Infliction demo. You've just experienced a very small slice from the full game. Trust me, it gets weirder. Infliction is in development and will be launching soon. In the meantime, it would be super helpful if you'd sign up to our mailing list. Please visit www.causticreality.com to sign up. We'll be able to keep you updated on the game's progress and any big announcements. Thanks again, your support is deeply appreciated. Wow, 2018, I guess we missed the bus a little bit on this one. But we're gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time, here in the dungeon.